Hi everyone, my name is Kirill and welcome. Today I will be guiding you through a standing shoulder opening sequence, 30 minutes in length. What does it mean? Well, it simply means that we're going to be doing a lot of shoulder opening postures while standing. So double benefit here. We're going to be opening the shoulders, working against the natural tendency of the human body to collapse forward as we sit in front of our computers. And at the same time, we're going to strengthen our quads and open our hips. So 2-for-1 benefit right here. What you will need for this practice? Always my recommendation is a bolster or a pillow. You would also need a belt. Most of us need a belt because our shoulders are naturally tight. So we're going to use the belt further down the line as we get it deeper into the practice. So have it nearby. So let's get started. Situate yourself sitting on a cushion or a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, no big deal, just get it next time. Find a very nice and tall and long spine. Roll back your shoulders. Place your hands on your knees and flex your biceps to pull yourself in. This motion where you're pulling yourself in to further open up your chest. Make sure your ears are over your shoulders, chin up, close your eyes. We're going to take a few breaths to get grounded and settle into our practice. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Feel the air flowing into your lungs, flowing down all the way into your belly. Feel the expansion of your side ribs, your shoulder blades at the back. Take the moment here to breathe deeply. Excellent. Let's open our eyes. Lift the hands to the sky. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Bring the shoulder blades together and open up into Cactus Arms. Spread your fingers, wiggle them. Make sure your elbows are pushing towards the back of the wall. Maintain a nice, tall spine. Sitting straight. Starting to get a bit of a strenuous feeling in our back. That's good. It means you are starting to activate those muscles. Now, preserving this nice and straight posture, we are going to rotate to the right. Not too far, just maybe 10-15 degrees. Coming back to the center, rotating to the left. Keep the lower body nice and stable so we're not rotating from our hips. Simply rotating from the upper body and on, keeping those nice straight 90-degree cactus arms. And do one more to each side. And back to the center. Let go of the cactus arms. Interlock the hands behind your back. Press the palms together. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Sit up nice and straight. Start focusing on your breath. I like to call it the secret sauce of yoga. Using our breath to develop awareness of our body and connect our mind with our body. So let's start getting a little bit deeper into that. As you're holding these postures today, I will remind you to bring our attention to your breath. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades. Keep pressing the palms against each other. Keep breathing into both the front, the back, and the sides of your chest. Holding this for 5 more breaths. These are going to be quite long breaths because we haven't really activated our cardiovascular system just yet. And on the next exhale, relax, let everything go, shake off your wrists, roll them out clockwise and then counterclockwise. Get rid of your bolster or a pillow if you have one. Let's put it to the side and let's come up onto our hands and knees, otherwise known as a tabletop position. Palms are pushing into the mat, knees directly under our hips. Take your left hand and thread it under your right armpit. Bring the left shoulder all the way down to the floor. Keep breathing. On the next exhalation, bring everything back down to the center. Take your right hand and thread it under your left armpit, bringing the right shoulder to the floor. Our sit bones or hips are pointing up. You should feel the stretch in your delts and in your shoulder blades. Couple more rounds of breath here. And on the next exhalation, slowly releasing back to the tabletop. We're going to push ourselves up into downward dog. So in downward dog, just a quick check here. We want to make sure that our hands are in line with our feet. If your heels cannot touch the floor, that is absolutely not a big deal. You can have them slightly elevated. Knees are slightly bent to release your hamstrings, to give you that flexibility to move your pelvis so that you can find a nice V-shaped back. Pushing through our palms. Holding this for just 5 more breaths, trying to get our ears away from our palms. So just pushing into the mat, getting the shoulders and the ears away from our hands. And on the next exhalation, walk your feet towards your hands and slowly roll up into standing, tucking your chin into your chest. Keep facing the front of your mat. Let's get grounded into a mountain pose. So make sure that your feet are right under your hips. Once again, roll back your shoulders. Turn the palms so that they're facing forward. Take a deep inhale here. Raise your hands to the sky. And exhaling, folding forward all the way down, slight bend in the knees. We're going to step back into plank. Here, if planks are very difficult for you, you can drop the knees onto the floor and simply lower yourself down all the way to the ground. Slowly lift up your shoulders and your head into Baby Cobra. From Baby Cobra, transitioning into tabletop and then extending the knees into Downward Dog. Bend the knees and bring your right leg in between the hands, dropping the back knee to the floor. Raise your hands to the sky and open them into a cactus. Wiggle your fingers. Keep pressing those elbows to the back of the room. Sink a little bit deeper into that front lunge. Exhale, hands go back to the floor in front of you, stepping back into plank. We're going to lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, raise your shoulders and your head. Small baby cobra here, transitioning through tabletop. And then extending your knees back into downward dog. Take your left leg, step it in between the hands, drop the back knee to the floor, and open up into low lunge with cactus arms. Once again, sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. Feeling the stretch in our groin, feeling the opening of our shoulders as our elbows are naturally drifting back towards the back of the room. Exhale, place the hands on the floor, lift up your back knee and bring that foot to meet the front. Inhale into flat back. Nice flat back here from the crown of our head all the way down to our tailbone. Exhale, we're going to fold forward. Bend your knees here and inhale, lift, connect the hands, bring them to your chest. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, folding forward. Don't forget to bend your knees here, inhaling into flat back. Press your palms into your shins. Exhale, folding forward. I'm going to step back into plank. Feel free to modify this with your knees if you have to. Lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale, transitioning through tabletop into downward dog through extension of our knees. Take your right leg, step it in between the hand. Drop the back knee to the floor. Raise your hands to the sky. Connect the palms together. Bend the elbows. And try to bring your palms towards your back. In the process, sink a little bit deeper into that front knee and arcing back just ever so slightly. Feeling the stretch and the opening of our shoulders. On the next exhalation, bring the hands to the floor in front of you. Stepping back into plank. Drop your knees if you have to, lowering all the way down to the floor. Inhaling into baby cobra. Exhale, tabletop, extending the knees. We're up in downward dog. Raise your left leg and step it in between the hands. Drop the back knee to the floor. Open up into low lunge on the other side. Connect the palms together. Bend the elbows. Open the chest. Don't forget to breathe. Starting to really focus on our breathing here. Noticing maybe it's becoming a little bit faster. Slightly arcing. And on the next exhale, bringing the hands back to the floor. Stepping back into plank. Drop the knees if you have to. Lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale, transitioning through tabletop into downward dog. Bend your knees and walk your feet rather towards your hands. Inhale into flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, reach all the way up. Connect those palms together and bring them to your chest. And right away, we're going to continue folding forward, releasing the hands to the floor. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale into flat back. Really try to lengthen here from your tailbone to the crown of your head here. Push those palms into your shins. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to step back. Lowering all the way down to the floor. Baby cobra here, transitioning through tabletop into downward dog. Raise the right leg, step it in between the hands, and come up into high lunge. This time around, we are going to take cactus arms here. So once again, Make sure the elbows are pressing towards the back of the room. Fingers are nice and wide. Sink a little bit deeper into that front knee. We're going to start activating our quads. Just like we did with the sitting poses, we are going to start rotating our chest to the right and then to the left. So there's a fair amount of balance required in this pose as we're trying to keep the lower body nice and stable, and at the same time we're trying to rotate the upper body without disturbing the lower body, all the while pressing the elbows towards the back of the room. One more time to the right and one more time to the left. Drop the hands to the floor. We're going to step back into plank, dropping the knees if you have to, lower all the way down, open up into a baby cobra. So our shoulders and upper chest is off the floor, our body weight is supported on our hands. Transitioning through tabletop into downward dog, raising the left leg, step it in between the hands, and once again come up into high lunge on the other side. Make yourself nice and stable, sink a little bit deeper into that front knee, find your cactus arms. Once you feel nice and stable, start rotating to the left and to the right. We are breathing all the way through the nose. Try to control your breath, and if you find yourself breathing through the mouth, focus your attention on your nostrils. Just a few more twists. And coming back to the center, dropping the hands to the mat, stepping back into plank, lowering once again all the way down to the floor. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale, transition through tabletop into downward dog. We're going to continue moving here. Raise your right leg. Step it in between the hands. We're going to open up into a warrior two. So, same as high lunge, except that our back foot is all the way on the ground. The edge of the foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Sinking into that front knee. Instead of doing the typical warrior two with our hands outstretched, we are going to take our fists and we're going to bring them behind our back, connecting them together. This will have an effect of opening our shoulders. Holding this for 10 breaths. Just a few more breaths to go. On the next exhalation, release your hands. Straighten that front knee and pivot the feet so that they're facing sideways. Feel free to adjust the stance so that you feel nice and steady. Reach behind your back with your hands, interlock the fingers, press the palms into each other, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and let's fold forward. You can have a small bend in your knees here to protect your knees, and letting our torso naturally fall forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades, stick those arms into the sky. Keep pressing through the edges of your feet into the mat. 5 more breaths here. On the next exhalation, release the hands and support yourself on the floor slowly, bending the knees. coming up into standing, otherwise known as side wide stance. We're going to shift to the other side, bending the knee. Take a warrior two here on this side. And once again, instead of taking our typical warrior two, we're going to take our fists, we're going to bring them behind our back and connect them together, opening up our chest, sinking a little bit deeper into that bent knee. 10 breaths. And on the next exhalation, release your hands. Straighten that front knee. Once again, pivot your foot so that it's facing sideways. Adjust the width of your stance. Once again, we're going to interlock the hands behind our back and folding forward. One more time. Let's get those shoulders some extra opening here. Just a few more rounds of breath in this inversion. Release the hands to the floor, slightly bend the knees, and come up into standing. Let's pivot the other way around. Place the hands on the floor, pivoting on the back foot, step back into plank, and release all the way down to the floor. Inhale into baby cobra. We're gonna continue moving here. Exhale, come up on your hands and knees, transition into downward dog. Raise your right leg to the sky, step it in between the hands. This is where we are grabbing our belt. We're gonna come up into warrior one. This time around, our hips are facing straight. The back foot is at a 45-degree angle. You're gonna be executing a bit of a hip twisting action here. So there's a bit of a additional force going on your back knee, so be very careful here. Grab your belt, take your left hand, and then reach behind your back with your other hand. Grab the belt and walk your hands along the rope as close to each other as you possibly can. Now, all the while, bending a little bit deep, sinking a little bit deeper into that front knee. This really does open up the chest. Once again, don't forget to breathe here. If your mind starts to wander, and if your thoughts are starting to scatter, focus on your breath here. We only have a few more minutes to go. Holding this for 3 more breaths. On the next exhalation, release your hands. Let go of your belt. But keep it nearby. Place your hands on the floor. Stepping back. Lowering all the way down to the floor. Inhale into baby cobra here. Exhale, transitioning through tabletop into downward dog. Let's do it on the other side, shall we? Raise your left leg, step it in between the hands. Grab your belt. Come up into warrior one. Rotate your hips so that they're facing forward. Grab your belt with your right hand and reach behind your back with your left. Walk your hands along the belt as close to each other as you comfortably can. 10 breaths here. Eventually, you're not going to need the belt, as your hands will naturally connect with each other and you're going to be able to lock your fingers together. But until such time, it is always advisable to use the belt, as we always want to play in that area of comfortable discomfort where we are feeling the minimal amount of discomfort, and it is so minimal that we are comfortable with that. Holding this for just 3 more breaths. On the next exhalation, we are going to let go of the belt. Place the hands on the mat, stepping back into plank, lowering all the way down. No baby cobra this time. We are simply going to shift back into child's pose. Bring your sit bones into your heels. Walk those fingers to the front of your mat. Stretch out your shoulders. Your forehead is on the floor. Now place your hands next to your sides, palms facing up. Let the shoulders naturally droop towards the ground. Let the gravity pull them towards the mat. Relax your back. And on the next exhale, let's come up into sitting. So we are going to sit facing the front of the mat. Let's bring our left leg so that the heel is as close to the groin as possible. This straight leg is nice and engaged. Toes are pointing towards us. Lengthen your spine. We are going to reach high with our right hand. And then we're going to hug that knee into our chest, all the while reaching back to give ourselves a nice support into this twist. As you are hugging your knee into your chest, you want to feel the engagement in your deltoids and your shoulders and your shoulder blade, actually. Five more breaths on this side. Just a gentle reminder to bring your focus on your breath. And on the next exhalation, releasing. Let's do the other side. So make sure you get that heel as close to your groin as possible. Lengthen, grow tall in your spine. This is why we really want to stretch before we come into this twist. So twist into the other side. As you're holding this twist, there's a natural tendency to really forget about that front leg, and it just keeps wobbling, lying loose on the mat. So make sure that you bring a little bit more focus into it. Engage that leg. Point the toes towards you. As you're holding the twist, Also focus on really growing tall with every single time you inhale. You really want to create space in your body as you're twisting. Holding this for 3 more breaths. And on the next exhale, slowly releasing back all the way to sitting. And then from sitting, release all the way down to Savasana, everybody's favorite yoga pose. Bring out your knees, roll out your wrists, roll your head side to side, and let's take a moment here to completely enjoy our Savasana. Close your eyes. Let go of any focus that you're trying to hold, whether it's on your body or on your breath. Let your breath naturally unfold as it is right now in the present moment. Feel the gentle support provided by your mat. Feel how your body is pressing against the floor, the mat. Notice any sensations in your body. Any pains, any aches, any pleasant sensations. Take them for whatever they are and don't try to judge them or classify them. Let's wiggle our toes, our fingers. Let's bring our arms over our head. Lengthen the entire body, head to toe. Inhale, hold, clench. Exhale, let everything go. Release. Slowly supporting yourself. Come up into sitting, cross-legged. Lengthen your spine here. Bring your hands to your chest. Bow your chin. Thank you for practicing with me. It's been my pleasure and my honor to deliver this practice for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.